Hey, what's up? If you are anything like me, you click this because you're worried about finding your art style. That's okay, because today we're going to go over how to find your style. I watch as many videos as I could about finding your art style and finding it well. And these are the most recommended steps to find those art styles. But I also found 3 that are very important, and they're kind of like little secret ones that I found across the net, and I also believe those to be aligned with how I found mine. Number 1 is you're gonna get inspired. Almost every artist on YouTube has said this in their Find Your Art Style video. And this is an obvious rule. We all start somewhere. We're all inspired by something to start art. So what is it right now? What inspires you to create the art that you want? We all start art because in one way or another, we were inspired. We see something from history, or we see anime or manga. Me personally, it was rubber hose stuff, and I feel old, but like I'm not that old, but that turned me on to art, and I can point out to the person that actually I started following because of that. What art do we like? Who is it made by? What's their process? Does it have a cool history behind it? Surround yourself with that art. As soon as you find it, find more of it. The best way to get inspired is to find what we like. Go on and create boards, places like Pinterest, bookmarking on Instagram, plopping them into Photoshop or Krita. Some people are degenerates and use Canva. I'm just kidding. Canva's fine. Canva's fine. Mine range, as you can see from mine, Pinterest, it kind of is all over, but it kind of goes in the order of interest that I had. Right now, it's kind of this black occult art, but then we kind of get cartoony, big old thick lines. You get into hair, some rubber hose. After you have a few of these that you like, find what each of them have in common. It's safe to say, if they look really grungy and small lines, that's what we like. Some will have cell shading, and maybe that's what we like. Maybe it's the weird proportions that we notice, long creepy arms, maybe these dead eyes that I seem to like, or the ones that are dented in. Now that you found what you like, find more artists that do it. 4 or 5 of them, follow them, see what they're doing, what's their process. You may even go as further as asking some questions, DM them, be interested. And if you know any of their little nuances or ways, compliment them on that, because it's always nice getting compliments. I mean, who doesn't like that, especially in the day and age of Twitter and TikTok art? It's just kind of toxic. So lift another artist up a little bit. Number 2, love what you're doing. Gotta love what we do, right? And I'm not talking about loving every final rendering we do, because sometimes that just doesn't pan out for us. Sometimes we dislike the final piece, and sometimes we hate it. But did we enjoy the process of it? Did we like the character or the thing or the item that we're drawing? Did we like the shading of it? Maybe the small parts of the line art that we really like. We gotta like what we do, and if we're not liking what we do, we gotta change it up. The idea here is to enjoy the journey, not the final destination. Enjoy the company along the way. Every artist, every person has a selective past that shapes what they do and what they like to do. Some artists are into anime and some are into big, beefy, bold cartoons. This is a Space Marine that I did as fan art. And that's okay. If it makes us happy, we're going in the right direction. It's okay to change what you like too. If you're not happy with what you're drawing, change it. Just change it. And if you're in a situation where you have to draw the same type of thing over and over, take a day and draw something else. If you're anything like me with the recent stuff, it takes longer than that to draw something else, but take a few days, reset your mind. Now that we got somewhat of an understanding of what we like and what we are doing and how we can do it, we're gonna go further. Number 3, we're gonna push the limits. Let's add more. And I mean a lot more. Push the proportions of the character that you're making. Make it long and gangly. Maybe make them short. Make a little chibi body, but make it extremely short. This specifically, I started here and I'm like, I don't really like this because I was new and I like this style. And I'm like, I want this to be what I can do. So the next one, I pushed it further. I made more. One color. I did more lines. I did more squigglies. I did more. And on this one, I'm doing even more. big, thick, bold. We're pushing it, we're pushing it, we're pushing it. And by the way, big dented eyes with little white dots are super creepy and I love it. Maybe you go back to old drawings and take parts of them that you liked and add it to a new project like I did with the drippies. Act if you have $4 and every element that you add that's new or from old past drawings costs $1. And when you get up to 5, you're like, oh, I don't have any more money. Decide what to either get rid of or switch out. Have enough money, but don't go crazy. And I like doing this because it tells us what elements that we want to continue doing. Maybe it's the tiny squiggly little lines that we made. And when we zoom out, it looks super cool. This is also the time to experiment. Do something that you wouldn't usually do. Soft shadings, add horns because those are cool. Even if they're bad, we can take them out later. Who cares? Number 4 is very important that I saw a lot of comments saying too. Not a lot of artists hit on this, but I think it's very important. It just comes to you. Many times when we're doodling or mindlessly inking and watching a movie or listening to a podcast, we rarely notice the small nuances of our drawings. And inside those pieces are what style we are. That's a part of us. That's a part of our style. Personally, right now, I love drips and creepy stuff, but I started in rubber hose. And then over time, I started doing Pokemon, but I started getting more visceral, little at a time. Then I got into it more. There's the start of it. And then we land up back here. We may add little dots randomly, make it grungier. Or we often overlook the fact that each and every one of us already has an art style. We just have to open it inch by inch to see if it's what we like. So those are the 4 most common steps according to most artists on YouTube, and I agree. That's how mostly I found my style. I think these steps are more of things that you're just gonna do along the way and not have to sit down and study or keep on reminding yourself because they're natural. But I also found these 3 smaller secrets that really helped me understand what my style was and how to push our limits to that style. Secret number 1, you will never be them. We all know the comparison quote. Comparison is the thief of, tired of hearing it. We might like an artist style, but we'll never be able to replicate that style 1-to-1. We never can replicate the artist, the background, what they like, morals, the different things that they do. Strive to be you, 100% you and no one else. Secret number 2, the art is you. Every piece you make, every struggle that you have while making the piece, even if you're bored while making the piece, that piece is you. It shows you. People on the outside may not see it, but when you look back at it, you'll understand the feeling that you had while doing it. Some art is mindless, but you'll also be able to recognize that I was mindless while I was doing this. I don't know what I was. That's part of you. That tells a story. That's your story. That's your style. Secret number 3, find your people. I know, finding people is scary. If you're anything like me, you go to a party and you find the cat or dog. That's okay, but online, it's a little bit easier. You can go to Instagram, follow a whole bunch of artists that do similar things that you like, and find your people. If you like local stuff, go to shows or go to conventions that are around you. I know it's probably harder out in the country. I get that, but if there's a will, there's a way, in my opinion. But if you slowly interact with these people, slowly start to show what you have or ask them questions, you'll start being inside the circles. You'll find other people, and other people will find you, and you'll grow and you will thrive. Throw some thick stank on it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Doing like 5 artworks at once now from this video. Stop it. That's cool though. This could be a really cool piece eventually. I don't like it right now, but it could be cool. I should probably change that. Like, bleep. Add some fucking bleep, 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 bleep. My, those. I'm going to get DMCA claimed from this. Chunk of soup? No. Chunk of land. Anyways,